Welcome to the Daily High. Very excited about today. The price is moving. Tone, I'm happy to say that you were right, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Welcome, Tone. I'm Matt McGregor. How's it going, mate?
Good, good. Definitely was a good morning when I woke up, and hope you had a good day in Australia. Can't wait to talk about charts today. We love Bitcoin's volatility, especially when it's to the upside. It's good to be right, but it's better when everyone is around the world is happy.
I agree, mate. To all the Australians watching, I love you, mate. It's Happy Australia Day. Don't let anyone tell you it's not Australia Day. It's Australia Day, and we celebrate over here, mate. Let's get straight into the charts. Tone, you'll be excited to announce your trade, I'm sure. Go ahead, you go first. I know you'd be very excited about that. I absolutely
All right,
lost.
let's do it. Let's go to screen share. I'm gonna put on the hourly chart, which is what I use for entering trades. Um, hey Matt, if you ever update the float indicator, you know what would be really nice is
What's that?
that this line actually like doesn't start, back in the Stone Age, but it starts on the candle that you last updated the float indicator, because I would love to know which hour the trade started with, or at least maybe a color change, and also just have it go forward. That would be great. So let me see when we did the show. So we did a show around 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. So it started right here off of this candle. And the main reason why I went long was because of the daily MRI. The hourly chart was actually not looking great. It was looking like consolidation. And while you can argue that it's consolidation after a rally, to me, this consolidation is taking place way too close to the lows. So I was certainly nervous about entering the long trade, but I trusted the higher level time frame for 24 hours. And I also wasn't sure if Matt was going to go partying again on a Friday night. So this might have ended up being a 3-day trade. So to play it safe, I had to go long. And whoa, did Bitcoin break out? This is actually surprising to me based on what is happening in a GBTC. Overall, this has been an enormous amount of selling pressure. Some of the ETFs like BlackRock bought almost nothing. They bought like 1,500 Bitcoin. There was an additional report that the US government is going to sell like what, 100 something million, $100 worth of Bitcoin, but that was only 3,000 Bitcoin. But still, it's additional selling pressure. Everyone is talking about FTX selling their GBTC. That's more selling pressure. So this is catching me a little bit by surprise. From a fundamental perspective, I did not expect this at all. I was mentally getting ready for like 36,000 or lower, but sometimes you got to trust your TA. I would not have trusted somebody else's TA, but I had to trust the MRI indicator. I would be long off of almost any MRI buy. This one was not the perfect MRI buy candle, as we explained yesterday, but it was good enough to go long on. And what a beautiful bounce today. Let's see if it holds through Friday and then through the weekend. However, this 42,500 resistance is not going to be a joke. All right, I'll leave it here if you want to comment on.
Let's finish off the float. So let's note your profit
Okay,
and add
right.
it
So we
to
can
the.
go back a few minutes on that if you wanna go to the start of
We'll
the
call it
show.
now. It's all good. Let's see. It's still rocking up.
All right.
So
So uh, the PNL is about $130 for me.
all right.
I'll round down a bit, 130.
All right. All right. All right. 130 it is.
I'm gonna add 130 to 115 and get 245. Okay. And am I giving you screen share at this point? How are we doing this?
You can keep rocking through your charts. It's all good to me. But or give me screen share and I'll close out my trade and go in and we can go back to you. All good. Yeah, I'll take the screen
Yeah,
share. I'm ready to
yeah,
go.
take the screen share.
All right. All right.
Oh
So
wow, my PNL. Oh, I'm about to say my PNL just jumped to 150, but that's because I altered my starting capital.
all right, let's have a look how we went here. So I lost $150, 100, we'll call it $160, $160. I'll add minus what's $160? 1,005 minus $160, 900, and we'll call it
835.
45, 8,
Eight.
35, 35.
835. 835.
All
No,
right.
835. That's a nice PNL of $9,000 plus you got there.
Don't worry about that. I'm not interested in the trade. I'm happy to have lost the trade because in reality, back in the real world, I actually took on
Wait, wait,
a
wait,
real.
no, man, go back to Florida. I messed up. It's 845. I
Yeah.
scammed you on $10 because
All
you
right.
had 1005. It's 845. Before
Nice.
the live chat like
Tears you.
destroys me with my math. Never do math on live air. It's like a golden rule.
Yeah, I just go blank when I have to do it on air. But look, listen, forget about all that. Forget about that. I don't care about that. This blue line here, I took on a $75,000 long position, and boy, am I happy I did that because Daddy's looking good right now. I think I'm up about 3K already today, maybe 280, something like that, US, whatever. I am happy to be in this trade. Okay, now for me, I mean, it's obvious why I took the trade on. I mean, looking at it, and this is back to what Tone said yesterday in his show. If I was in reality, if I was in that short position, I would have got out of it. When we started breaking and getting a new high above these lines here and started clearing some of these moving averages, I was sitting there about an hour ago on my phone and I thought, nah, it's time. It's time for Matt to go long here. So I threw the same trade on I tried like 3 days ago that got stopped out at 1.5%. I put the same trade on, but I used 3x leverage and bang. It was just like clockwork, shot straight through. I guess everybody had the same thought. That's as clear as you'll get a breakout trade. Does that mean the pullback is over? Absolutely not, Tone. That doesn't mean it's all done. We're all sailing from here. Maybe, for sure, maybe. But on the 4 hour time frame, we need to clear Tone Vaser's MRI support and resistance area. Once we start breaking that line right there on the MRI, that is a bit interesting because then we're not just making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows all the way down. We start to crack through and change the structure of the whole market on the 4 hour time frame. Very exciting stuff. But on the daily time frame,
Oh, wait. Can you go back? Can you go back?
absolutely,
What
man.
causes, you said you went long off
Yeah,
that blue line at
yeah,
40,380.
yeah,
But why is that blue line there? Is that something you put in manually, or
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
that part
yeah.
of an indicator that automatically puts it in?
No, I just went up to the tab up here and went line and went bang on the price. It's just for me to monitor my own trade
Right. But
and for
what
for this show.
right, but your trading decisions are mostly made based on alphanumerics. And this feels like this was not an alphanumerics log trade. This was a chart pattern breakout of consolidation of a movable low kind of trade. This wasn't alphanumerics related, or am I missing something?
No, I mean I'm a diverse individual who can take on trades. $75,000 is a small position for me, believe it or
No,
not.
I know, but the
Yeah.
specific question is, this was a spur of decision trade, not alphanumerics driven, correct?
Yeah, I would say that that's
Okay.
definitely true. But if you look at the 4 hour time frame and then remember the moving averages. Even yesterday, I said to you, when I guess the price was here, and I said like this is so common for us to come back up, retest the 30, and get rejected. As I said all week, actually, we pull up, get rejected at 30, get rejected at 30, get rejected. But this was enough for me to curl around the moving averages, and breaking these resistance areas that we had previously had at the 30 to bail straight through it was enough for me to take on what could be a scalp trade, what could be a position trade, which could be a swing trade. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I haven't decided. I've been in the trade for an hour, but I saw a setup and I was like, yep, that's enough for me. I'm taking the trade. Sometimes that's as simple as it is. But if you, I'm going to release a presentation up tonight, hopefully tonight, if I can get the producer on board, which was what we did earlier in this week on Monday, a full detailed outline of the different positions that I hold. I have multiple positions that I hold. So for the majority of my money, I'm still completely raised cash. I've got out of this. I'm not convinced that this is the end of it. It could just, as we go to the daily and weekly later on in this conversation, I'm not convinced this is the end yet. But as far as a scalp trade, a swing trade is concerned, I'm completely happy to take this trade.
Right. So speaking of the daily and the weekly, we are still in right now as we're speaking. The price of Bitcoin is sitting at a resistance zone. It's not as strong of a resistance zone as the one that's going to show up around 42 and a half, because that's where it meets multiple declining moving averages. But the underside of where the price broke down is a strong enough resistance zone. Now, because we're coming off an MRI buy, I think this has a little bit more legs through the weekend. So I am now expecting us to go higher into this moving average resistance. And then this will be the ultimate test of whether Bitcoin goes down and makes that final low at 36, 37K, which I think would actually be pretty good for the longer structure of a Bitcoin bull market. And going up to the weekly scale, if that is to happen, we would go beyond a 1 to 4 candle correction. And unfortunately, this would set up the weekly chart to be worse than a 36, 38, and it would set up the weekly chart to possibly go as low as 32,000. So personally, I would love to see this red star candle disappear, and it will disappear if Bitcoin rallies by Sunday and turns this into a green candle, and then the red star candle will disappear. We will perfectly match the 1 to 4 candle correction on the weekly. We would have perfectly reversed or close to perfectly reversed on a daily with the MRI. And then it's time to challenge the swing highs and hopefully all-time highs by the time the halving comes. So I am optimistic. I still don't like what's happening in the selling pressure with the ETFs. Someone asked in the live chat, how come OTC trades don't affect the price of Bitcoin as much as anything else? Well, just think about it, right? If the CEO of Apple has 20% of Apple stock, if he decides to panic sell that on the stock market, that's going to crash the price of Apple. But if he, sells it to his cousin, who happens to be equally as rich, and you don't even know they made the deal until a month later, it doesn't affect the price of Apple stock. It's just that one guy handed it to another guy and transferred the money from one bank to another. But when you panic sell on an open exchange and expect people to buy it, not only will people start questioning why is he selling, people may not have the money to buy that much right away. So that is why spot price trading affects the price, and OTC trading doesn't really affect the price at all, other than people in real time finding out there's an OTC trade, and then they panic based on the information.
Yeah, well put, mate. Well put. If you'd like to give me back the screen share, or do you want to, if you've got some more to show, I've got some more to show.
No, that's it. Other than the allocation chart remains 50%. I was going to keep 50% as long as we held the 30-period moving average on the 4-day chart. And if we can rally above 42 and a half, if we can clear this daily resistance, I have not yet gone long in my majority of my cash position. I'm just happy I wasn't there through the panic. I'm happy to allocate all of that back in right around 42 and a half once we're breaking. There's another MRI resistance line coming in. This is a massive resistance zone right here, basically between 41 and a half and 42 and a half. Once we clear that zone, I think we're up and away.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I completely agree with you. I would say that 80%, 90% of my tradable position is still in cash because I need to see that 44 mark at least get breached before I get in because I've seen this time and time again. We could just come up to that high resistance area, completely wipe everybody out on both sides, on the upside and the downside, crash back down to 35 or whatever. I don't play with my big money in this kind of way. But if I go back to screen share for a second, people might be interested in why I got into this trade. And if you go down to the 15-minute time frame, and just to answer your question, Tone, did I use alphanumerics? Not actually. I used the new indicator that I've built, and that will be a bot coming soon, but we'll talk about that later. See this? I'll turn off the MRI so it's very, very clear.
Oh, leave it away before you turn off the MRI. Look at that beautiful 15-minute pop
Beautiful.
when the
Beautiful.
when the show started.
Yeah. Yeah, great. Well, I mean, I just front run my own indicator here because I knew what was coming. Um, and got in because I knew it was coming, and because of the 4 hour time frame that we were breaking out as well. But if this bot was live right now and we were 10x leverage long, we would have at 2%, which is here, at there at 41, we'll call it 400, that bot would have closed that trade in a 20% profit. 10x leverage, 2% move, bang, we would be out of this trade right now as well. That's the way the bot is going to be designed. So that would have been another terrific example of a quick scalp trade that I would have made. So I've been testing this with my own money prior to launching it live, and once again, cracker of a trade, cracker of a trade. We did get some questions in our private group chat about the monthly time frame, and if you'll indulge me because it's the last show for the week, what do we see on the monthly time frame? And this is bloody interesting for me. This dip that we've had, and I'll put on the MRI because the MRI is the real key to the monthly, I think. My phantom signal came in on the monthly back here. So the wave for me is my macro bullish and bearish feeling of what the market overall is doing. But when a phantom signal comes in on a monthly time frame, and you'll see it on the weekly time frame as well, it's bloody brilliant. That for me is super duper macro bullish. They don't happen very often on a monthly time frame. Um, so when that came in, my overall mindset was completely bullish long term for the whole year. And then we're still in a really good mid range of the MRI candle, regardless of the crash. Even if the crash you want to call it came down to 34 or whatever, it's completely held the structure of the market. I'm absolutely fine with the monthly time frame. If we close this with 5 days left, if we were to close this with a green candle, it would be even better for me. So I've got no issue at all with the monthly time frame. Tone, what do you think of the
I
monthly?
was just about to say that. It would be absolutely incredible if that's closes a green candle. Not a perfect doji kind of candle like you saw in January or February of 23. So I don't want to see yeah, well, the month after. I
February.
don't want to see a candle like that, but maybe a little bit of a green body,
Mm.
something like, well, two candles after, like a body like that.
Mm.
If Bitcoin price can do that, that would be very bullish, setting us up for next month.
Yeah, and it doesn't even concern me if we were to close here. It doesn't concern me at all on the longer term scale. I could go both ways at this point. I could see it. That's why I'm in cash personally, because it can come down lower or it can go up higher. I'm not investing all of my money and all of my capital for a position that I'm not comfortable with, but absolutely for swing trades and scalp trades, it's as good as time as any. Tone, let's do the trade and get on with the show. Tomorrow's going to be the Monday. It's going to be over the weekend. Oh, this is a big decision. We long or short here.
All right, I'm gonna put on my trade right now, and
All right.
maybe you should do yours on screen share. Give me a second here.
Okay.
I have my capital, I have my leverage.
It makes it even harder because of what we've done in the last hour or so. We're like, that makes this trade even harder, I
Yeah,
think, at
what
this
just
point.
happened, what's been happening to the price since the show started
Mm.
is also super interesting. I need to decide what happens next here. And yeah, this is not going to be an easy trade. All right, you're
No.
doing screen share,
Yeah, I'm still thinking, unfortunately.
and you moved the board, right? Not yet.
Not yet. I will move. No, I didn't forget. I'll do that now too. All right, let's call the price. We'll call the price 41 41 100. 41 100. I am 2x leverage long. I don't feel good about that, but I'm 2x leverage long from here. All right. You've got the screen share. Before you do the screen share, I'll give you your bloody win. Back to where it all began.
All right, so I'm also going 2x to protect my nice P&L. I am actually
But
going to go short.
good,
This
good.
move has just been too big in a short amount of time. So I think when we wake up tomorrow, wait, oh, hold on a second here. Is this going to
So,
be a 1 day trade or a 3 day trade? We're not going to do shows this weekend, right?
no, it comes to Monday night or Monday morning in your time.
Holy shit.
That's right.
Um, I don't know. I think, oh man, I did expect some bullishness over the weekend because GBTC is not going to be selling and stuff. But I don't know. Something tells me this move is a little bit, irrational and out of nowhere. I don't think prices are going to rise this quickly. I am going to hope we go up a lot, but I think this move was just a little too much in a short amount of time. I think we're going to consolidate here. I think it's too late for me to switch to a buy. For some reason, I thought this was a 24-hour trade, not a 72-hour trade, but it would be cheating if I went buy at this point. So I got to stick to the short because I've already
Change
seen
your
that
input
trade.
price. Change your input price. 41 100.
That's right. 41, 100. All right. 41, 100. And we go from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Wait, that's what it was? 41, 100?
It was 41 100.
Okay.
100.
All right. Let's
All
see.
right.
Let's
All
see.
right.
I think getting out of this mess is going to be, you know, a little rough, but I am hoping prices rise.
Yeah. You can be a happy loser like I was today. All right.
Yeah.
Give us back the screen for a sec. Guys, we're 3 weeks into this new series that we've got on the Financial Summit. We are very, very grateful for all the viewers that we've had in the past 3 weeks. It has been an absolute joy to bring you these shows every week. We'll be doing them 5 days a week and right into the future. Please like and subscribe to the show. Share it with your friends. We've got some fantastic guests coming on the show in a separate show we're going to do on the Financial Summit Network called Trader Talks. I'm not going to spoil who it is yet, but it's on the 2nd of February. It's going to be a monster of a show. He's a great trader that we're going to be interviewing. Please like and subscribe. As I said, please use the affiliate links that we have provided in the bottom of the show if you want to trade like me and Tone here. We use 2bit to trade. It's great exchange. It's just blown up. They're expanding into Asia, and I'm really excited to be a part of that as well. Tone, have a happy weekend, my friend, and happy trading.